this has now become an accounting matter. And I think the general principles that we need to apply to all of this is that they form the partnership. And generally speaking, when you form a partnership, whatever contributions you make become part of the partnership property. And that means that each partner has an interest in the property that is the subject matter of the partnership. And as I understand the contract provision, without complete reimbursement to the party who made the investment, the property doesn't revert to the partnership. But in this case, there wasn't a complete reimbursement.
Right.
So now how do we calculate who's owed what? It isn't simply a matter of just selling everything, because I think the plaintiff cannot unilaterally sell the property, even though he's entitled to reimbursement for it upon dissolution, I think, under the circumstances.
I agree. Well, then the question becomes what to do with the partnership property when the two partners can't agree.
Right.
And I don't think it would be good for anyone for this hot dog cart to continue to sit in the garage of the defendant because he's not using it to operate a business anymore. I would be inclined to sell the property and either give 80% of the sale back to the plaintiff and 20% back to the
When you
defendant.
say sell how do we sell the property?
Well, we'll probably have to entrust it to one of the two parties to sell with an order to reimburse the other party.
I think Mr. Prevost is the party that's being difficult in terms of communicating. The plaintiff has made it very clear that that's what he wanted to do, is actually sell that hot dog cart and give the defendant his share, 20%.
He had a buyer for $4,000. They could have wrapped this up quickly.
Right. So
we have proof from that buyer.
80% of the $4,000.
But see, I don't think it should be 80% because the defendant keeps the cart.
Okay. You got it. I'm going to give him $4,000.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
And he keeps the cart. What do you think, Judge?
You get what I'm saying? He has the cart.
And he wanted all of his money back, right? So if you give him the cart,
he's only
which
owed
he says
$1,100.
he can sell for...
He could sell that cart and get more.
He lost an opportunity to sell it for $4,000. The defendant wouldn't go along with him.
Right.
He wouldn't go along with him simply because he resigned. And he had every right to resign.
All right. No, I get it. And by the way, that would leave them each out a little bit because even getting the $4,000 doesn't recoup his entire investment.
Right. I like it.
This courtroom is again in session.
You know, it's so difficult for me to find the right words to render this verdict because the two of you have presented a dilemma, an aspect of a dilemma that plagues us all. How do we move forward in a venture which would provide each of us with solace, good futures for ourselves and our children, and for the pursuit of happiness? I can't find the words. And maybe if I found the words, we'd all be in a better position. But all I can do is look at the problem you presented to us and try to figure out the fairest and justest way of presenting it. But I would have much preferred that the two of you figured it out and acknowledged the friendship that caused you to join together in partnership anyway.
It's an unfortunate situation. Never thought I'd end up in this situation, but the trust factor is gone, and I think that's a big thing. Is that true,
Mr. Prevost? Can you get over that?
I can forgive him for stealing money from me, yes.
Oh, Mr. Prevost.
Sounds like it.
See, that was that little bit of twist.
I can forgive.
He didn't steal your money. I'm going to tell you that right now. You ask me, he didn't steal your money. He took the money, and you have a piece of paper in the evidence which shows he took the money to pay off, which is the joint money. I've given you my best.
Okay.
I've tried to be fair, and here's our verdict. It's a unanimous verdict. The plaintiff is to receive $4,000 of the $5,000 he's requesting of you, $4,000 based upon the fact that he had an opportunity to sell the cart. It was appropriate under the circumstances that existed. He had an opportunity to sell the cart. You get to keep the cart. I only hope that you guys can come together, because if you can't, then we're all in a worse place. Verdict in favor of the plaintiff for $4,000.